Please be seated. How many of you have seen a monarch butterfly this summer? How many? Is it more than last year or less? Now, the American honeybee has vanished from 9 states. Between 200 and 2,000 species go extinct every year. In the last 30 years, 27% of the insects in the world have disappeared forever. Twice as many plants have gone extinct than birds, mammals, insects, and so on. The parable in today's gospel asked, which one of you having 100 sheep and losing one of them does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one that is lost until he finds it? The United States alone has 1,270 species on the endangered list. When they include species from around the world, that number goes up to 2,368. And these are only the ones we know about. There are 54 species that are proposed to be added to the endangered list in the United States, with another 24 candidates to be put on the list. One woman having 10 silver coins, if she loses one of them, does not light a lamp, sweep the house, and search carefully until she finds it. We have 24 threatened or endangered species living in Wisconsin. Illinois has 32. But it is not just the living creatures that are in danger. There are 36,240 square miles of critical habitat in the United States that plants and animals require to survive that are endangered. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but let's look at it this way. It would be like putting a bubble or a dome over the southern half of Wisconsin. Now, that's a line from Green Bay through Stevens Point through Osseo. But let's extend that all the way across Lake Michigan and all the way over to the Mississippi River. So we have a dome on the southern half. Nothing can get in, nothing can get out. But now, we're going to begin to slowly squeeze that bubble, moving all things moving south, without letting anything escape. Imagine what happens as that bubble shrinks. Oh, by the way, we are in that area right now. We may not be causing this personally, but most of it has been done on our behalf. And I haven't even talked about the changes to the weather and the extreme weather events. Believe it or not, our lives are based on the degradation of creation. We want cheap prices for everything that we buy. We want cheap gasoline so we can afford to keep our big SUVs. We like large lots and having lots of green grass. And to do that, companies pollute and destroy and do whatever they can to make it as cheap as possible. And we don't all do it here in the United States. We used to send our recycling to China to pollute their land, their water, their air, and their people. Now, I'm not going to ask you to go stand in front of a hunter or stand in front of a bulldozer or to lock yourself to a company's gate. That is, of course, unless you want to. If you do that, please let me know and I'll come take a picture. Oh, wait a minute. I'll join you. But what is God calling us to do? God created a world that was balanced. There was enough land, enough food, enough space, enough water, enough air for everyone and everything. All living creatures and plants. And then he made us responsible to maintain that balance, to get out of the way, and creation would take care of itself. And that is exactly what we did do. That is what we did not do. We decided we knew better. We let our pride and our greed get the better of us. After all, God gave us dominion over creation, didn't he? Now, when you're translating anything from one language to another, there isn't always a perfect word that translates or phrase. So you pick something that's close. Or there could be multiple definitions, and we pick the one that we want it to be, not the one that was meant by the writer. Now, we wouldn't do that, would we? I personally think that God did not mean master of, but responsible for his creation. Now, just like there is no such thing as a person being not a racist, there is no such thing as being not a polluter or not a destroyer of creation. If you are not taking a stance against racism or the destruction of creation, then you are condoning the behavior of others, and therefore you are a racist or a destroyer of creation. Either we are, or we take an active stance against it. There is no middle ground. Now, out of Jeremiah, one of the alternative readings for today, it says, "For my people are foolish, they do not know me. They are stupid children, they have no understanding. They are skilled in doing evil, but do not know how to do good. I looked on the earth, and lo, it was waste and void, and to the heavens, and they had no light. I looked on the mountain, and lo, they are quaking, and all the hills moving to and fro. I looked, and lo, there was no one at all, and all the birds of the air had fled. I looked, and lo, the fruitful land was a desert, and all its cities were lain in ruins." We need to take responsibility for our actions and the responsibility to speak out against the pollution of this world and the effects it has on people and the destruction of the environment. We can do this with our words, our actions, our money, and our vote. Now, God is present in all of creation, the living and the non-living. Do you see Him there? How are you being called to be responsible for God's creation?